Hi there, my name is Ed. I'm a slow sewing friend, and today we're going to go over the April 2025 subscription sewing patterns. Let's get into it. The astute observers amongst you may realize that this video is a bit late in the month, so I am aware and I recognize that it's really only relevant for about 2 days, but that's okay. I am still doing it because I told myself that I would try doing these monthly. So we're going to try doing these monthly even if it's super late. April just got away from me. As usual, we'll go through alphabetically by pattern company, starting with the Cashmerette Club. This month they have the Hartwell vest. The Hartwell vest is the tailor made for curves piece that you've been searching for, with armhole princess seams in a cup sizes C through H, a full lining and traditional welt pockets, and adjustable back tab. The Hartwell will have you looking sharp and feeling unstoppable. The other patterns this month that are on sale for club members are the Miriam trousers and the Auburn blazer. So you could make yourself a very sharp looking three-piece suit. The pattern difficulty for the Hartwell vest is rated intermediate, and the size range is Cashmerette's typical size range for full bust, 33 to 62. It is a multi-cut pattern. The waist goes 25 to 52 inches. The fabric recommendations for the Hartwell for the main fabric is mid to heavyweight woven fabrics, so cotton poplin, linen, suiting, jacquard, or brocade fabrics. For the lining, they're looking for lightweight woven, so cotton lawn, rayon Bemberg, or silk crepe de chine. That would be so luxe. And then also you'll need some interfacing. Not a surprise because it has welt pockets. It's a tailored piece. So you'll need light to mid-weight interfacing as well. And then there are notions that you'll need. So you'll need some buttons and a vest buckle. The Hartwell is available in a whole kit that you can get all of the notions and the fabric and the thread included from Core Fabrics. And then the fabric shop discount this month through the Cashmerette Club is at Minerva. So you can save during this month, right, for the next 2 days, you can save 15% off of your order at Minerva. There is a sew along for the Hartwell vest, and that is with Whitney from Tomcat Stitchery. And then finally, one thing I noticed when I was looking up this pattern is that there's a new bonus for club members, and that's a discount at the Blue Cup shop, and that's a PDF printing service that's on Etsy. So if you're a club member and you haven't stopped by the dashboard in a little bit and you like to get your PDF patterns printed, maybe take a look to see if that discount code would be good for you. Some quick thoughts on the Hartwell. I don't think I am a vest person. I don't see a lot of vests and think, ooh, I want that. I would wear that. I would look good in that. I don't know. Mostly the vests I look at that I think I would wear are outdoorsy vests that you would put on when it's cold. So a tailored vest probably isn't quite my style. I also look at this, and for me, the vest straps, are they vest straps? Anyways, the shoulder's too wide. I would lean towards a vest with just narrower shoulders and probably a deeper V. So this, for me, isn't what I would want in a vest pattern, but it might be hackable. Will I hack it? No, probably not. I'm really not gunning for a vest in my wardrobe, but I know vests I know vests are a very trendy garment right now, so I think it's absolutely fantastic that we see a vest coming out in multiple pattern companies, because that just means you have a lot of options to find the one that fits you best. Because we are so late in the month, we do have two Charm Patterns Patreon patterns for this month. The first one is the Ingrid skirt. The Ingrid skirt is a 1940s classic with a full lining, a shaped waistband, and optional patch pockets with decorative flaps. It can be made as a skirt separate, or it can be paired with any bodice in the Stanwyck series to create an elegant dress. And the Ingrid skirt is a semi-fitted A-line skirt with a comfortable amount of ease at the waist and hips, and it has a high shaped waistband, as I mentioned, that's supported with boning. So if you're looking at making this, be sure to check the notions list. It can get quite extensive when you're working with boning, so you want to make sure you have some of those things on hand. The size range for this skirt is Charm's typical full extended size range with a waist of 24 inches to 56 inches, hips of 36 to 64 inches, and that's the only measurement you need. I was going to tell you a full bust, but you don't need a full bust measurement for a skirt. Okay, fabric. For fabric, you are looking for medium weight wovens, cottons, denim, corduroy, sateen, twill, linen and linen blends, wool suitings, crepe, flannel and tweed, brocade, silk wool blends. You could use stretch wovens, but knit fabrics are not recommended for the Ingrid skirt. Some quick thoughts on the Ingrid skirt. This skirt looks really cute. I love an A-line skirt. I love a full skirt too, but an A-line skirt just looks so chic. I think it's adorable. The shaped waistband looks super adorable, particularly knowing that there's boning with it and how easy it is for waistbands to collapse. I think that's fantastic. I would also leave off the pockets. They aren't my favorite. I would like to have pockets in the skirt, so maybe an inseam pocket. I would definitely make the skirt instead of doing a dress within the Stanwyck series. I do want to, at some point in my personal style journey, wear more skirts, and I could totally see myself picking something like this to try out. Some of the skirt samples have the tiny belt loops at the waistband for a really skinny belt. I would definitely leave those off. I can't see myself wanting to put a skinny belt with a high-waisted skirt. Also, when looking at the samples, I wish Charm would stop sewing their samples in black. It makes it really difficult to see some of the details, some of the pattern details. I'm sure part of it is, hey, what makes sense for someone's wardrobe so that you can get wear out of the skirt after sewing it. But it does, when you're looking at it and trying to figure out what all the details look like on different bodies, having something sewn up in all black is just really difficult to see. The second Charm Patterns Patreon pattern this month is the Norma Turban. The Norma Turban was inspired by the character of Norma Desmond, played by Gloria Swanson, and her fabulous wardrobe in the 1950 dark comedy Sunset Boulevard, which I haven't seen, but I'll take Charm's word for it. This is technically a wide headband, and it's adjustable for any size, and it can be worn either with a twist or a knot in the front. From a sizing perspective, the pattern is designed to fit an adult-sized head with a little extra room for a larger hairstyle. The sewing instructions are written so that you can adjust the size of the turban as needed before actually finishing the construction. The turban features a twisted looped design and an optional turban knot to cover the visible seam line. It can be worn with the turban knot at the front or the back. And from a fabric perspective, it's recommended light to medium weight stretch knit fabrics with 50 to 70% stretch. So things like stretch velvet, interlock, and jersey will work great, and any spandex blend will work really well here too. Okay, I think the Norma Turban looks so cute. I have been wanting to wear more scarves, and this has a point, particularly so I can maybe do some hair things with scarves, but I'm not actively purchasing like silk scarves. It's not making it onto my shopping list each week, but I do have fabric scraps, and this could be a great like initial foray into the world of silk scarves in my hair and doing a Norma turban. Anyways, I think it's super cute. I love that you can, I mean, hopefully use scraps for this, and you could definitely do a shirt and a matching headband, and I love that idea of doing just a full outfit matchy thing. So I will probably make this. I'm excited too. I like doing headbands. They're good scrap busters, and they are quick wins that you don't have to sink a lot of time into, but you come out with something super wearable that you can wear pretty often and feel really good about. The Closet Core crew pattern this month is the Alice dress. We are continuing the journey through decades of fashion history, and this month we are going to the 1960s with the Alice dress. A bohemian dream, Alice is a 60s inspired gathered dress perfect for living your own summer of love. From the website, Closet Core describes the Alice dress as channel your inner bohemian with the Alice dress, an ode to the iconic silhouettes of the 60s flower power generation. This loose and flowing dress is carefree and comfy in one breezy package. Alice features a paneled bodice with a charming necktie and a gathered skirt that can be made mini or midi length. The gathered and billowy sleeves are integrated into the seam lines with a simple banded hem. There are countless ways to make Alice your own. We encourage you to play with border prints, color blocking, and incorporating handmade touches like embroidery for a one-of-a-kind boho dream. So view A is your midi length dress and view B is your mini length dress. This pattern is rated as confident beginner, and the size range is Closet Core's typical full size range with a full bust of 31 to 60 inches, a waist of 24 to 53 inches, and hips of 33 to 63 inches. From a fabric perspective, you're looking for light to mid-weight wovens, especially cotton and linen. For more structure, fabrics like batiste, voile, lawn, double gauze, and poplin will work well. You could also sew up Alice in a flowier fabric for a more drapey look, so a rayon challis, viscose, silk crepe, chiffon, charmeuse, and georgette. And you can recreate all of the samples with kits from Core Fabrics. There is a whole blog post that Closet Core has posted about fabric inspiration, and it goes over a lot of great ideas for prints, solids, print mixing, and border prints. And as a reminder, if you are a Crew Unlimited member, you do get a standing discount at Core Fabrics, and it's 15% off of any order of fabric, notions, tools, or kits in the shop. So if you love one of the samples, you could absolutely get a discount on one of those kits. There is a sew along for the Alice dress, and there's a few different blog post resources that Closet Core has referenced as well. So things like adding embroidery details, tips for sewing gathers, and how to use border prints and panel prints that all seem really useful for this 1960s gathered flowy dress. Let's talk thoughts on the Alice dress. This is a cute dress. It doesn't feel to me particularly original or super new. And in fact, if you were to look at the Helen's Closet March dress, that's a very similar silhouette. The March dress has a dropped shoulder and the Alice dress doesn't. And I think a couple days after the Alice dress was announced, So Liberated announced that they would be releasing essentially a similar looking dress as well. And So Liberated shared some photos of samples they had that they've been working on it for a while if they have some wearable samples that they're testing. As I said earlier, it's great to have options for a particular garment or a silhouette with different pattern companies so that you can pick the pattern company that best fits your body. And just this particular silhouette is no different. You can find it from a few different pattern companies. I don't have any major plans to sew up the Alice dress or an Alice-like dress in, say, the next 3 months, I found I wasn't particularly moved by the samples that were sewn up by Closet Core for this dress. However, I have seen some versions of the March dress that I really liked that I've definitely saved for garment inspiration for whenever the mood strikes if I want to sew a dress like that. And finally, we have our Seamwork patterns. The first pattern from Seamwork this month is the Fern Gathered shirt. The Fern shirt is a stylish raglan sleeve blouse that blends feminine style with refined details, featuring a gathered neckline finished with a contoured band collar for a polished look. The raglan sleeves provide ease of movement, while the bound finish at the sleeve hem adds a clean, professional touch. Unique staggered button placement creates the perfect opportunity to showcase your favorite buttons. This is perfect for sewists looking to build on their skills. Fern offers a modern, flattering silhouette with thoughtful construction that will add sophistication to our handmade wardrobe. Seamwork has rated this pattern difficulty as intermediate, and this is in Seamwork's full size range of full bust 32 inches to 60 inches, waist 24 inches to 53 inches, and hips 34 inches to 64 inches. For fabric for the Fern blouse, you'll be looking for lightweight woven fabrics, so cotton lawn, cotton voile, cotton gauze, chambray, Swiss dot, linen, rayon challis, rayon crepe, and silk. I think this shirt is quite cute. I like the staggered double buttons. I always think that's a really fun detail. Whenever I see that on someone else, I always think, oh, that's right, you could just do double buttons on a button placket and it would look really cute. So I think that's a really great detail, and it is in the line drawings. So I'm assuming that both markings are on the pattern pieces so that you don't have to fully figure it out all by yourself. I do love a raglan sleeve for mobility. I love a puffed sleeve. While I was looking at this pattern, it did remind me of the Anna Allen Anthea blouse. I don't have that pattern, and there are differences. This is a raglan sleeve. The Anthea blouse is just a normal sleeve, but certainly a flowy blouse with buttons and a puffy sleeve. Those are the main hallmarks, right, of both of these patterns. So if that's a pattern you like, you might like this one too. Or if it's a pattern, if the Anthea blouse was a pattern you've been looking at but haven't purchased and you have a Seamwork membership, maybe check out the Fern shirt instead. The last pattern this month is also from Seamwork, and it's the Bloom square neck blouse. The Bloom blouse is a charming square neck top that combines timeless style with skill building details, featuring a flattering square neckline at both the front and back. This pattern includes gathered sleeves with an elastic casing for a soft feminine finish. Heirloom-inspired touches like inseam trim at the front and back yoke seams add a delicate vintage feel. Staggered pin tucks at the center front add texture, and this is perfect for intermediate sewists looking to refine their techniques. This pattern will elevate your handmade wardrobe with beautiful, lasting details. Seamwork has rated this pattern with a difficulty of intermediate, and I would tend to agree with a yoke, your inseam trim, and the pin tucks, along with some sleeve gathering and elastic pieces. That seems like a totally fair rating. And for size range, this is Seamwork's typical size range that we went over for the Fern, but it's a full bust of 32 to 60 inches, waist 24 to 53 inches, and hips 34 to 64 inches. And similar to the Fern, for the Bloom, you're also looking for fabric to be lightweight wovens. So cotton lawn, cotton voile, cotton gauze, chambray, Swiss dot, linen, rayon challis, rayon crepe, and silk are all great options. Every month, Seamwork does a member bonus where they add a little hack to one of their patterns. And this month, the Bloom blouse gets that member bonus, and it is an extra sleeve ruffle to the blouse. So it adds a tapered ruffle to the armhole of the Bloom, and it gives you that pattern piece so that you don't have to figure it out by yourself. All right, some thoughts on this. I think this is a really cute blouse. The fabrics that they've made it up in for the samples both feel really sweet to me, and I don't think I would make up the Bloom blouse in the same fabrics, a gingham or an eyelet, but I do like the inseam trim. I think that's really cool, and I've also been wanting to make something with pin tucks that isn't super overwhelming. And this looks like a nice amount of pin tucks that isn't going to be overwhelming, but will still have a really great payoff. I think this could be a cool top to experiment with some medium scale prints. I could definitely see a brightly colored floral looking very cool in this top with the lace and the pin tucks, and have it look not quite so sweet, but still have all of those really neat heirloom features and maybe more of a modern, I'll say, printed fabric. All right, those were all of the April 2025 sewing subscription patterns. If you know of any other sewing subscriptions that do monthly patterns that I should include in this roundup, please let me know. I would love to include them. And if you watch this within the next 2 days, hopefully this is relevant to you. If you're watching it after that, I'm so sorry. I was just late in April. The whole month got away from me. It was wild. My pick for the month would actually be the Norma Turban pattern. I really think I'll be able to make that. And my second pick would probably be the Bloom square neck blouse. I think that could be really cool with the right fabric. Let me know in the comments what your favorite pattern from this month is. On a final note, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos, hopefully more on time, that go over the monthly sewing pattern subscription releases, be sure to subscribe to my channel. All right, happy sewing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!